need to ensure that the success we had, that we don't in any way jeopardize that. I'm the chairperson of all 4 institutions under tourism. It's been a complete change from where I have been working before, which has basically been in the private sector. But with the change of the government and the president, he was looking to engage the private sector people into various actually industries. And when I was spoken to and asked to look at tourism, I was keen to help the country. I'm the chairperson of all 4 institutions under tourism. I believe it's possibly the first time that one chairperson has been appointed for all 4 institutions. So Sri Lanka was brought about a few years ago. We've had various slogans and campaigns. Of course, there are very passionate views in the industry about they like it, they hate it, and so on. But I think from the younger generation, I think can relate to this much more. And if you look at the travelers who've come with some of the awards we've won as well in the past, most of it has been because the youth traveler made us famous. A slogan is important, I think, but it is not a deal breaker either way, frankly. You see some other countries like India, they have Incredible India, and you have in Malaysia, Truly Asia, and so on. But then there are loads of other countries that are in the tourism industry doing particularly well, you may not recall. So I don't think we should spend too much, frankly, energy on discussing so Sri Lanka with is good or bad. A fair amount of money has been spent on it. So I personally think that we should continue with it unless there's very good reason to change it. Having said that, with the global promotion campaign which was approved by the cabinet, it was a campaign for 5-year period, which is also something new. So this is a campaign that will look at several areas, from the digital marketing, which is actually now more relevant with post-COVID, working with PR companies there, DMCs, with different levels of investment obviously, working with travel agents, tour operators, OTAs which have been really ignored in the past, working with airlines which is really critical, and actually for the first time I believe we're sort of working together with Sri Lankan Airlines, trying to do a joint promotion in certain countries together, as well as credit card companies. When you talk about OTAs, everyone gets very upset, but the thing is that in Sri Lanka, 2,500 roughly accommodation sector is registered, only 2,500. There's over 20,000 not registered with us, purely working with OTAs. And to say we don't need OTAs seems not right. And I think we do need to work with OTAs, we do need to work with travel agents and credit card companies, airlines. Sri Lankan Airlines is one example, but we do need to work with other airlines too. Now we have 5 international airports. The recent one was added was Ratmalana Airport. It can take up to 100 passengers as well as private jets. And post-COVID, I find that it's the traveler who will probably come. The research that has been done is the youth. Actually, the youth are probably going to be the first. The intrepid traveler who wants to go somewhere, see something new, had Sri Lanka on their bucket list. So we need to sort of going forward look at that. With regards to the COVID whole pandemic, which was announced in March by WHO, the government took action to already set up quarantine centers. A COVID task force was set up, which I have been a part of right from the beginning. So immediate all of government action was taken. So we've had good results because of that. It was really a team effort where the contact tracing was done so successfully, the quarantine centers. I mean, as Sri Lankans, we can really, all of us, be really proud of what we've all done together. We each and every one of us actually contributed to this success. The decision then was, we were looking at, should we open the airport for international tourists in July or should we open it in August? And then the decision was made to open it 1st of August, partly also due to, we have several Sri Lankans wanting to return, and we feel that June, July should be given the opportunity for our own Sri Lankans to come back. They have contributed to our economy. They are our own citizens, and that opportunity must be first given to them. So 1st of August it is. as the plan as it now, and we have a detailed guideline prepared and already distributed to the industry. It's not easy to achieve those guidelines, but we have had to do it because we need to ensure that the success we had, that we don't in any way jeopardize that. Whether they take bookings from travel agents or tour operators or OTAs or direct booking, it's not relevant, but you can book any way you want. However, you would need to stay in a hotel or some kind of accommodation which is certified. Before you arrive, now there are some stringent requirements made. One of it I feel is really not so practical. So we are in discussion with the health ministry whether we could change it. How do we do PCR tests? What is as per the guideline today is that you need to have a PCR test done 72 hours before. That is mean the guest would need to do so. Now that is impractical because in some countries you can't do a PCR test without having symptoms. And when you arrive in Sri Lanka, you will do a PCR test at the airport. PCR test 5 to 7 days, we will have a mobile unit, and 10 to 12 days. And after you do the 10 to 12 days, then you can stay for 6 months and you are assured that you are COVID free. And in the unfortunate event, one of our international guests do get infected or have come with infection, they would be sent to a hospital or a hotel, a designated hospital or hotel to recover. So I think this is a good opportunity for us to upscale the SMEs to build product, whether it is in wellness, whether it is in adventure, whether it is in water sports. We need to build that and show really an authentic Sri Lankan unique experience. I think that would be what people want and which we probably have not sold well enough. And I am really positive about Sri Lanka. I think we are the most beautiful island in the world. I think we probably undersold ourselves all these years. And I appeal to the industry stakeholders, come join the same philosophy of trying to upscale our products gradually, have a better return, and so that everyone in Sri Lanka benefits together.